Buddhist philosophy refers to the philosophical investigations and systems of inquiry that developed among various Buddhist schools in India, following the death of the Buddha and later spread throughout Asia. Buddhism's main concern has always been freedom from dukkha, and the path to that ultimate freedom consists in ethical action, meditation and in understanding the nature of reality. Indian Buddhists sought this understanding not just from the revealed teachings of the Buddha, but through philosophical analysis and rational deliberation. Buddhist thinkers in India and subsequently in East Asia have covered topics as varied as phenomenology, ethics, ontology, epistemology, logic and philosophy of time in their analysis of this path. Early Buddhism was based on empirical evidence gained by the sense organs, and the Buddha seems to have retained a skeptical distance from certain metaphysical questions, refusing to answer them because they were not conducive to liberation but led instead to further speculation. A recurrent theme in Buddhist philosophy has been the reification of concepts, and the subsequent return to the Buddhist middle way. Particular points of Buddhist philosophy have often been the subject of disputes between different schools of Buddhism. These elaborations and disputes gave rise to various schools in early Buddhism of Abhidharma, and to the Mahayana traditions and schools of the prajña paramita, Madhyamaka, Buddha nature and Yogacara. Philosophical orientation. Philosophy in India was aimed mainly at spiritual liberation and had soteriological goals. In his study of Madhyamaka Buddhist philosophy in India, Peter della Santina writes, "Attention must first of all be drawn to the fact that philosophical systems in India were seldom, if ever, purely speculative or descriptive. Virtually all the great philosophical systems of India, Sankhya, Advaita Vedanta, Madhyamaka and so forth, were preeminently concerned with providing a means to liberation or salvation. It was a tacit assumption with these systems that if their philosophy were correctly understood and assimilated, an unconditioned state free of suffering and limitation could be achieved. If this fact is overlooked, as often happens as a result of the propensity engendered by formal Occidental philosophy to consider the philosophical enterprise as a purely descriptive one, the real significance of Indian and Buddhist philosophy will be missed." The goal of Buddhist philosophy was nirvana, and to achieve this it needed to investigate the nature of the world. For the Indian Buddhist philosophers, the teachings of the Buddha were not meant to be taken on faith alone, but to be confirmed by logical analysis of the world.